I am Pato, and this is Raise Your Weapon. I'm going to be doing a solo cast today. Fortunately, Highwind cannot be with me. We're on the normal realm, so we have 2 caster slots. We have the ref in there, and then, of course, we have me, Pato. So I'll be casting this AHGL game, After Hours Gaming. If you don't know about it, it's Day 9's League. He puts on a tournament where other companies face off against each other. Amazon, Epic, EA, Google, for example, for at least a few. And we're going to see the bands really quick here. Ramesh Shen, Kenan Morgana, and should see a Leeson de Uder in there as well. Pretty standard picks. I know the Google team, when they were going through their picks, because I was in their mumble, had the pleasure of that. I know that a lot of their bans were basically just based on fears they had about certain champions. Shen's an obvious ban. If no one's going to play him on your team, then they don't want to deal with him. And Leeson and Ramesh just really good gankers out of the jungle. And we're actually going to lead off here with Craze as Trundle. And then we have the Cassiopeia and Riven picks. I know for a fact that Sundown absolutely loves Cassiopeia, and he really wanted to play Cassiopeia this game, and unfortunately Cassiopeia was stolen away from him. Oh, what tragic fate. Let's open this volume mixer so we can fix this a little bit. There we go, that's a little bit better. And then, so it looks like D-Bum's going to be playing Alistar. D-Bum, typically the support champion for Team Google. Loves to play support, played it for us in the internal Google tournament. So he is one of those people that loves to play support, and he has that CV there, and he is very good with CV. He's practiced it out. As one of those veteran players that used it before Team Heal was all the rage for supports. So we will see D-Bum rocking the CV. Trundle, actually a very good pick. Versus AD champions. He can actually be run top or in the jungle, although with an Aurelia pick, obviously Aurelia more than likely going to be played top. And Aurelia, you know, she got nerfed in this recent patch just a little bit. The base lifesteal from her high 10 style was actually reduced in half. So she's not going to be as sustainable in a top lane versus, say, a Riven, which it looks like it's going to be Riven or Shyvana. I guess you could jungle Riven, but typically you're going to see Riven top. So her sustain's going to be reduced, so she's going to be a little bit weaker in this game. Mokobite's going to be rocking Tristana. Mokobite actually plays a very, very good Tristana. Actually, if you go check out Forecourt Gestures YouTube channel for the internal Google tournament, you can see some sick moves by Mr. Mokobite there. Kicking butt, triple deking out the enemy team with rocket jumps and flashes. Very, very good at Tristana. And Sundown Absolute, of course, has a very, very good Ryze. Last time I watched him play Ryze, I was incredibly impressed about how good he was last hitting and farming. Because honestly, Ryze, his auto attack comes out really, really slow. Like, I was just playing a fun screw around game earlier today, and I forgot how slow like he feels. When he reaches the auto attack, where if you play characters like Ahri or LeBlanc, let's say, have really great attack animations, it comes out really quickly. You feel like it's really responsive. But Ryze is like you're throwing a lightning bolt, but somehow that lightning bolt is like it's molasses, as slow as molasses. It's terrible. Throwing like a wet noodle, not a lightning bolt. And Janna, Ezreal, Shyvana, Riven, Cassiopeia. That's a very scary lane. That's a lot of early game damage. Ezreal could be very, very good in the hands of a skilled player. Looks like John's going to be rocking. I'm going to unblock these summers, so I'm not going to reveal them before this goes up. There we go. Make it a little bit bigger for you guys. Yes, indeedy. So if anybody doesn't know, this is the After Hours Gaming League. Google, the blue team, Epic, the purple team. You might know them. They've made Unreal Tournament, you know, cool stuff like that. Gears of War, maybe you heard of them. Google, they make everything. Might have heard of them. And yeah, so pretty good teams. Janna, of course, rocking that exhaust, and Ezreal rocking the team heal, so he's going to get more of a benefit from that. Mokobite, interestingly enough, running Ghost Flash. I mean, honestly, so Mokobite, so people want to know a little behind the story. I know Google team very, very well. I've played with all those members. I've talked with them. I work at Google, so I am privy to a lot of their discussions. Mokobite is actually a really amazing Dominion player. If you don't know, Go for LOL actually has Dominion tournaments where you can actually win prizes, much like the Go for LOL Cups, but it's for Dominion. And his team that he plays with actually wins like every week. So maybe he's probably been playing a lot of Dominion and not a lot of Summoner's Rift, but he's still a very, very good player. Great at dueling and plays a very, very good AD. I've seen that before, and him and D-Bum have played a lot together. They actually played on our Raise Your Weapon team, so they are really in sync when it comes to playing a bottom lane. And Epic actually brought out their big guns this time. This is a very strong lineup from them. Google actually did some research, did some behind the scenes stuff, to kind of set up this matchup, pull together the people they needed to, find out what picks, what kind of characters they should ban against these specific teams, and out of the players that Epic could bring, because you are allowed a 10-man roster, they brought basically all their big guns. So Epic's fielding their main team here, the legit team. And it's going to be a really good test for Google because, as far as I'm concerned, this is some of Google's best players right now. Sundown, absolute amazing AP mid. Mokabite, mainly known when I played with him for AP mid, but he is a very solid AD. Demon, of course, live support. Really excited about that Lulu champion, the new support champion that just came out. Which, if any of you haven't had a chance to buy her or get your hands on her, go do it instantly. She's a ton of fun. She's basically a more aggressive Janna, if you will. All her spells are basically geared towards being aggressive. She's not going to be seen here because in the tournament realm that they do normally play on, they do not allow Lulu. Lulu wouldn't be in there, so they basically moved Lulu out, and it was the Fiora patch. So we're playing with the new patch, like the tweaks, the balances, but Lulu is not going to be played in this game. That's why you didn't see her picked, banned, whatever. But it would have been fun. Would have been nice to see her. And we're actually going to see Aurelia. So if any of you are concerned about how good Aurelia is, you're going to get to see her go up against Riven and see how that sustain actually has affected her. I'm really, really interested in how Rustubs is going to do now that this champion has been nerfed. Ignore that. This is not the Emerald City land, trust me. Had to hodgepodge some graphics together real quick before this, so don't worry. This is not Emerald City Land. This is the AHGL After Hours Gaming League. This is about the last week of After Hours Gaming League. If anybody hasn't been following along, go to their YouTube, check it out. They've had a lot of casters come in, Four-Core Jester, and then some like guerrilla casters, people just picking up the games because a lot of the games are played at the same times or off times, so they can't always get casters for them. So usually they only cast like 1 or 2 games a week, and the rest of the games are either streamed by the people playing them or casted by other random people that just want to pick it up. In this case, I'm picking up because I know the Google guys work there, and so I'm going to cast a game for them. And it should be a lot of fun. I haven't got to actually cast one of their games live. I've got to referee other companies' games. I know that Epic is very, very good. I've cast a lot of their games. So should be a really good matchup we have here. We're going to start out right now. Welcome, viewers. It must be starting Gold Mastery. I'm guessing it must be starting Gold Mastery because it knows it's 2.4k to 2.3k. So I'm guessing Janna started with extra gold and maybe D-Bum didn't. Because it looks like Janna's gone 4 wards in a pot and D-Bum's only gone 3 wards. So D-Bum actually choosing to go more tanky with his masteries probably, and not going for that typical support build where you get that extra gold so you can get those extra wards. I'm really excited to watch Sundown Absolute take on Cassiopeia because Sundown Absolute's favorite character is Cassiopeia. He really wanted to play that, and somehow later in their picks they didn't pick it first. And Cassiopeia ended up going to One Man Army, who is supposedly the highest rated, according to the scouting report, the highest rated player on Team Epic. So,
30 seconds.
and he hasn't shown up in any other games besides this one. So they're bringing out the One Man Army for Google. They're like, this is the time to unleash our secret weapon. So I'm interested to see this guy play. Should be pretty exciting. Looks like we're gonna get a sort of, I'd say a standard leash, except for he's not doing wolves first. Typically you would start wolves. Help out. Like a good spread from Epic. Preparing here in case of an invasion. Nice ward. This is very new meta. This ward placement right here to catch invasions and the like. You can actually catch people going out of this brush sometimes. It is actually a very, very good ward. Actually, I've been using it a lot against, you know, TSM does this a lot. We used it against TSM recently in the GG Chronicle tournament, and actually was able to catch out a lot of their aggression. It's really good against aggressive junglers. And Shyvana's going to be a really, she could be really effective. I'm interested to see if she uses her smite here or not, and Trundle as well. You can actually save smite, and it looks like she will save smite. So she's going to save smite, she's going to run over and try to steal the red from Team Google. If she can do that, she will hit level 3 and have an awesome gank on bottom, because typically this Tri-Brush is not warded by lazy blue comers. And since D-Bum actually went low ward count here, because he didn't start with the extra gold, he's not going to have a ward there because of that. And so here we go. Lyrical Panda is going to pull these creeps. You can actually pull him farther around here. He actually should have stayed in here and killed off these creeps. He does have the time to do it, but he's actually just going to quickly smite and run out of here really quick, which, you know, is safe as well. And he's actually not level 3. Oh, yeah, he did do wolves. So I don't know why he's not level 3, unless there's some change that I was unaware of, or someone stole some experience from him. Yeah, see, he's really close. So somebody lost experience. They come behind with that red, with that blue, chugging those pots, and the burnout. D-Bum's going to pulverize to try to protect. Mokubat should rocket jump out of this. And look at that burst damage. Exhausted right now. He will be able to escape out of this. Craze coming down. Angry, he's missing his red buff, and he's going to run back into the jungle. That is really unfortunate start, and great counter jungling. You know, that is something to look for. And that's why, you know, wards are very important early, and I would recommend to all junglers, if you are playing in Shyvana, look out for that. Similar with a Mundo, look out for it always. It's kind of like the new thing to do, the new coolness, the new hotness. Save your smite, run over, steal their red. If they have a slow jungler, then it works out, and you basically hit a level faster and have a really good gank behind on bottom. But Mokubat, you know, he's actually healed up really well here, and just pushing back the lane, and Shyvana's roaming top, so it's probably safe knowing that she has rotated out. And Cassiopeia is actually a really good character against Rise. Rise actually has a hard time with characters that can spam at him, and Cassiopeia is one of the most mana-efficient harasses in the game. That Q, it's a little bit delayed, but mana per damage is one of the best spells in the game. Very effective. So she can spam that on him, and it will give him a hard time. He does have a hard time early, but later on he's built so tanky. It looks like Rustub's actually not doing too bad up here. He's only chugged 1 pot. Riven, apparently expecting a long fight, actually went cloth 5 pots and hasn't drank a single pot yet. I think Rustubs is probably not going to be as interested in trading, and Riven's being pretty passive here. Maybe she wants to actually suck Aurelia out here, bait Rustubs up for a gank, although Shyvana not the best ganker, so I don't necessarily know what the strategy is there from A-Baller. Pings going down at red. Shyvana will be rotating up for the gank with that red. She can be effective, you know, if she has a red, she can gank with that burnout. It's not quite as effective as other junglers that, you know, have a stun, like a twisted advance, you know, from Maokai. It looks like Rustub's already going to go back, but Rustubs doesn't want to trade because he's not going to usually win those early engagements, although he's doing pretty good against Riven right now. It is good to note that when you activate Hitan style now, you actually do have the same sustain with the lifesteal, but you're going to lose it from that passive, so there's a big change. But we haven't seen it really come into play yet. Shyvana camping here, and I don't think she knows that Rustubs went back, although Rustub has used his teleport. She's going to run away right as Rustubs teleports in, and we might see some action now. Great ward right there, might catch Shyvana on the outplay. Both characters getting pretty low on mana. Let's see how we're doing. 29 to 35, so Rise a little bit denied, but that's not too bad against the Cassiopeia. Able to keep, you know, the waves against his turret. So he's going to go back probably. Let's look at the gold here. Should have enough to buy a tier if he really wants to. He is going to go tier. Sometimes I like Catalyst actually against the Cassiopeia or a really harassing character, but it costs more money, that is. And tier, you know, obviously just starts the whole train that is Rise, and once that train gets started, you can get his tanky items. It becomes really hard to deal with. Riven and Aurelia trading up here. I want you to see as they get more levels how this changes. Riven with the equilibrium strike, and they actually are deciding to trade now. True damage coming down. Riven's going to be chugging a pot. And there is the flash onto her key strike, getting that stun. Flippy floppy, ignite goes down, wind slash First blood for A-Baller, just biding his time, waiting patiently and picking up that first blood. Very, very good move there. And a really, weak early. That is the time to take advantage of her. Shyvana looking to come in here maybe for a ward placement. He's going to run straight into Trundle. Has that CC reduction. Probably coming into ward here. Great shackle right there. And Ignite actually going down. One more overcharge. And there we will pick up the kill. Sundown Absolute with the kill. Now she's going to have to run back through this turret. Fortunately for her, there's a lot of minions, but still getting slowed down here. Very aggressive is A-Baller. And they really want to chase her down here. They don't want to let her go, but Cassiopeia is rotating up. They will see this on the ward, but now it is a 2v1. Cassiopeia has that level 6. So not so auto level 1, and now Aurelia is into this. Uses her ult, just hits Aurelia. And Google, good rotation there, coming up with 2 kills after giving up first blood. And a lot of them on Rise, so that's going to help out Rise in that mid lane against Cassiopeia, and he's going to get tankier, go buy up some items, and now they're going to feed him blue as well, so should have some good action from Sundown Absolute going forward. Meanwhile, bottom's being pressed pretty hard. Let's see how Ezreal's doing down here. 50 CS to Mokobite's 55, so 55 CS, a very, very slight CS lead for Mokobite. Basically even for all intents and purposes. And there's the flash pulverize, headbutt back in, but here comes Shyvana. Team heal going down, and now they are on the retreat, turning the fight 3v2. Ult for Mokobite, flash in by Phantasm, flash by Mokobite to get out of there, dodge that last Q, and Google in full retreat now. Gonna have to go back, and looks like Sundown Absolute rotating through the jungle. I think he was gonna go down to help. Now he probably isn't, just scouting out here. Maybe gonna help out with some red or look for a counter jungle, although they can see Shyvana in lane. And feeding Cassiopeia blue, probably in order, but there's no wards on Dragon, so they actually might start that. But CV going down for Mokobite, they will see this. The jig is up. There will be no Dragon at this point. They do need to feed Cassiopeia blue, because if they feed Cassiopeia blue, they can do blue golem so quickly. Looks like a 3-man squad roaming through this bottom jungle. Mokobite going to be spotted by that ward, as well as the rest of Google checking on Dragon. They're not sure if they're doing it or not, although they do see Cassiopeia in lane, so that should be a hint that it wasn't taken. And just a green going down from D-Bum right there, and trade in middle, turning around, but that is dangerous. Shyvana rotating in, just misses with her ult as Cassiopeia, and he's going to be a little bit angry about that one. If he just would have caught, that would have been a dead Rise. Don't want to lose your blue to Cassiopeia. That would be a terrible day in lane, and we might see a Dragon push now because no Rise. Cassiopeia can actually do it very, very quickly. There's actually going to be no steal on the big Wraith, which is the main target. Cassiopeia's going to push this wave into lane, deny some XP that way. Meanwhile, really has been pressed against her tower, 53 CS to 77, so down about 20 CS, and that early kill. Aurelia not winning this exchange with the Riven up top here. And Cassiopeia's going to go back. And looks like she has her Catalyst. She's going to be really tanky to deal with Rise and sustain in lane as well with that blue buff. Shyvana's been very aggressive. She's level 6, and Trundle's level 6 as well, about halfway. So Shyvana actually surprisingly a little bit behind until that red. The red actually will put her slightly ahead of Trundle, but Trundle will come back with his own red. So Trundle is actually doing a good job of not being behind in levels, even though Shyvana had that early red steal. They didn't convert a kill out of it, so good job for Team Google for being able to survive that early Shyvana counter jungle. She's actually wasted a lot of time up here waiting on Aurelia. In previous games, got caught in the jungle earlier when she tried to counter jungle blue, which was a very, very good response from Team Google. So Rise is without blue now, so he is at a huge disadvantage versus Cassiopeia, and he's doing everything he can to actually try. That was a great job right there, lasting both of those properly with the turret. But he's doing everything he can to just try to keep getting pushed in by this Cassiopeia with her blue, and still stay alive and not take too much harassment. He's really just abusing overload right there. And a pink ward, very smart pink ward from Janna. That is nice warding by her. Taking vision control, counter warding. They do know that Lyrical Panda is there. Oh, they saw it come down with this ward in river. Protecting those Rays and their own jungle. Google's doing a really good job. I mean, this is really forward thinking. You see a lot of people stuck in the same meta now where they're not that cautious about the Shyvana gank sometimes. But if Shyvana's in the game, you know, you really have to spend some effort and attention to it. It looks like Google's taking the proper steps to deal with her, and you know, really limiting her effectiveness this game. Shyvana again waiting out of the vision of Google right now, waiting for a chance to move into the brush. She will move in now. They will not see this yet. Possible gank middle, and then we're gonna jump in. Shyvana's gonna rotate it now. Has her dragon stance. Will she engage? Haven't seen it yet. D-Bum's gonna pop his ult, take all that reduced damage, flash out of this, and they will be safe again. Another gank thwarted. That seems to be, you know, the MO right now for Team Google, is just bait, go in, find out that it's 3v2, and then run like hell. 91 CS to Ezreal's 89, so again, staying even with that extra Shyvana attention there that they're receiving right now. And Rise is actually rotating around, not going to go for the Raze. Know that something is up, though. And no Dragon yet. Ping's going down towards Dragon. Google thinks that something may be happening, but until you see Cassiopeia leave, chances are that is not the case. Need to think about doing the blue, because their blue has been actually hanging out in the open for way too long. It's very susceptible, getting counter jungled right now, but it looks like they're closing in on Rise. Lots of pings from purple. They want Rise, and Rise is actually in a little bit of... Oh, wow. Really undershot the miasma right there. Didn't actually proc a slow. Aurelia's been left to her own devices. She does have teleport, so if they do get a ward down there, or she can't come up to this ward right here, although it just faded, that is unfortunate. Now Dragon is going down. They should know something is up. Everybody's collecting. Ezreal's actually been zoned out of this fight, technically, and I think it's going to go down before they are able to get there. And will we see a full collapse? Google is split. This is not what you want. Slow go down just as Rise turns. That is unfortunate. Flashes out, gets ignited, getting chased and taken down by A-Baller. That was unfortunate. Just turned at just the wrong moment. Cassiopeia just waiting there, and will we see a kill here onto Janna? I don't think so. They're not going to be quite aggressive enough. Too many members of Epic sitting there in wait. Aurelia has rotated down now, finally. Equilibrium strike a little late. Edo's going to rotate down, defend his turret, farm up a little bit more. Mokobite rotating down as well. Everyone going in now. They're going to feed Cassiopeia the blue. Rise really needs to pick up that blue pretty soon. This is an unfortunate death right there. Although Rise, you know, 86 CS to Cassiopeia's 99. He's not too far behind, and he has his two, you know, main tanky items. Has that catalyst, has the tier. So he's going to build up all that mana, deal tons of damage. Be Rise. You saw Ezreal right there actually used his ultimate to clear out this wave, reset it. Wants to push this wave in to the tower. It looks like he's going to blue pill back. Let's just see when, if we see some Bloodthirsters. I imagine Ezreal might go Bloodthirster. For anyone who doesn't know, on the new patch, Bloodthirster, actually, you probably do know if you're watching this, but for those who don't know, I haven't read the patch notes, Bloodthirster actually only loses half its stack now when you die, so no longer do you have to go back and farm up 40 champion kills in a game of League of Legends. You can just simply get, you only lose half and you can just farm up a little bit, which makes it a lot more viable and a safer item to buy overall. And, ooh. Cassiopeia getting a little bit of focus now. Sundown Absolute just wants to farm, I think. Sundown Absolute kind of settling right now for try to get to late game, try to be cautious, don't die anymore. Mokobite farming by himself. I'd actually like to see maybe D-Bum rotate up for a roaming gank on a Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia's actually done a ton of damage now, so they're going to catch Sundown Absolute under turret. A little bit of trade going there, and Shyvana coming over, turning the tables. Riven's going to check blue, but she should know it is gone, since it was on Rise. Cassiopeia refreshing her blue. That's not something you ever want to happen when facing a Cassiopeia in mid lane. Very, very unfortunate for Google at this point. Down about 2.5k at 17 minutes in, which is not too bad. Is very, very good for Epic though to have this lead, and it looks like they're playing a very, very solid game. Shyvana hasn't been always successful with her ganks, but she's doing a pretty good job, and actually has this early Oracle, which will be key to actually gaining vision control. If they can use that Oracle and Google falls asleep on it, doesn't get their own Oracle, do some counter warding of their own, then Epic's actually going to be able to snowball pretty easily with that by taking other objectives around the map since Google has no vision. Crazy now last thing under turret, trying not to waste those minion kills. Something absolute. I feel like he has a little bit of a vendetta. He's kind of has something to prove, maybe a little chip on his shoulder at this point in the game. Wants to try to deal with this Cassiopeia, but at the same time Cassiopeia has blue, she's ahead, and in that case he's going to have to be a little bit patient here. Good juke in there, getting in his overloads when he can. Shyvana searching for a possible ward. She's going to find this one right here for against Google. When you are searching out wards, you can actually do a shift right click, I think is default, or basically just in general attack move, and you'll actually find the wards and attack them as soon as you enter brush or see them, which is just a good little tip. Back when Baron actually used to not knock away the ward, and people would try to hide wards behind Baron, if you attack moved, it would actually attack the ward first. The ward actually had higher priority, so that was a little trick now. But now Baron knocks away. He's a big jerk, doesn't like wards, and lots of slow going to Mokabite, but Shyvana's still not going. Now she's going to come in. Howling Gale goes down. Ghost goes down. Jump. Don't see the flash. Trying to monsoon him against the wall. Great flash over the ult, and now Janna's going to chase her down. Zephyr under the turret. Edric can't, but now he is under the turret, taking a little bit of damage, not getting aggro, but Ezreal and Shyvana are going to rotate up here to protect him. Janna, one of the hardest characters to run down in League of Legends, and she will be able to escape out of this great aggression by Janna. Knows she can go in there and get that kill with the Zephyr. Really like this aggressive play from Epic that we're seeing right now. And mid turret will fall, top turret will fall at the same time. Bottom turret might be next with a heavy effort from Team Epic. They should see one-man army rotating up though. Now, the only problem for Rustubs now in this game is that with this turret down, he actually is susceptible to ganks. Shyvana's has a very heavy presence in Team Google's jungle, so gonna have to be careful of that. Some sweep around action, maybe Cassiopeia roaming up, taking some kills. Looks like some absolute might get some wolves here. Get a little bit of extra farm back here, let his wave push a little bit more towards him so it's a little bit safer for him. Trundle has been spotted. They have posted that. Janna still, people are wondering, Janna did get that bubble nerf. A lot of people, I think, thought that when her bubble actually went away that you did lose the typical AD bonus that the bubble does give. I think a lot of people just assumed that's how it worked. But in fact, that was actually the recent patch. It actually just changed. That her Eye of the Storm ability that bubbles and gives you about a free BF sword to the enemy team was nerfed. So now when the bubble goes down, you actually lose the 50 damage. It no longer stays there after the bubble is gone, which was very, very strong in trades in lane with Janna. But she's still really strong. You can see it right now. She's had a great lane so far. And there's going to be engagement by Google. Focus on her Shyvana. Shyvana's going to back out of this. Might survive in time, but Ryze has been focused down by Ezreal coming in from behind. Trundle is going to fall. Rustub's the only one left alive for his team, trying to hide in the shrubbery. Flashes over the miasma, and he probably will escape at this point. Going to be able to dash to a minion if he wants. Mokabite, meanwhile, in the back. And this will be another dragon for Epic. So, great timing by Google showing up for the dragon, but we've kind of gone over this recently. If anybody's checked out GG Chronicle articles on the coverage for IM Hanover, in IM Hanover there was this really interesting stat for CLG, where CLG actually had like -18 or so dragons going into the semifinals, like some ridiculous stat. Like they were completely in the negative when it came to dragons. But the thing was is they said if we can't win dragons, then we can just win by staying in line and farming. And what you actually see from a lot of really good mechanical farming teams, which CLG kind of is that they'll stay in line and farm, and even after you get a dragon, the team goal will be about even. So even though it kind of helps the weaker farming teams get in, if you don't want to take that risk from dragon, you just want to stay in lane and farm, and you farm really well, then it's actually worthwhile to give up those dragons. And CLG ended up getting third in that tournament, could have got second. So, you know, that's something to think about for teams, you know, that always feel like Dragon is, you know, the end-all, be-all, and a great steal from Shyvana going down, and just insult to injury for Google right now. A damage buff going down for Janna, has that Locket of the Iron Solari, which is a new item, gives a damage shield based on per level, base damage shield plus per level. A cool little new support item after they reworked Stark's Forever. So heavy pressure on a bottom turret. They haven't been able to push this down yet. That would help out Google a little bit, but they can't be caught out. They should know that enough people are missing that it is time to back. It is definitely time to back. And they will be running for dear life under their turret, and they should be fine if D-Bum can work his typical magic. Cassiopeia shouldn't try to dive this. And we're going to see that heavy push I was talking about earlier on this bottom turret. Epic should convert this, and they're going to just keep trying to snowball and get some pressure in there. Aurelia actually teleporting down on bottom turret, but no one else is there. Janna coming in, great ward on the backboard. I love the warding here from Epic. They've had great warding all game, great ward control with oracles and pinks. They're really, you know, it's basically insurance on the lead that they do have and the snowball that they have been able to get so far. And Riven with the Guardian Angel earlier. That's going to be really, really annoying to face for Team Google. Just another target if they focus down. It's kind of be a waste of cooldowns because you're just going to come back up while they try to deal with the rest of Team Epic that's already very much ahead of them. Trundle trying to make sure that the Team Google gets this red, but he's backing out. Team Google, you know, a little bit hesitant right now going into this part of the game. They are a little bit behind, but playing a little bit scared, not committing to these buffs. They need to get this buff for Tristana, you know, keep one buff of theirs at least. And heavy pressure is going in. They will be able to be zoned out here with the Miasma. Sundown F's baiting it just a little bit. Rest of staying under turret, so we're probably wait for this to subside, and then he'll run back under his turret. There it is. And Red actually picked up by Trundle, not Mokobite. Would have liked to see it go to Mokobite. How's Mokobite doing? He just went straight up Infinity Edge, and Ezreal actually went for that Bloodthirster like I called earlier. Bloodthirster a very, very good choice now in League of Legends after the recent patch, which we are on the current new Lulu patch. For those of you tuning in, this is the After Hours Gaming League game. Is a tournament put on by, you know, Day 9 TV, that group of guys, awesome group of guys. And the cool thing is, you know, it's just companies going against each other. You know, your favorite companies: Google, Amazon, Facebook. In this case, Google versus Epic. Google is the blue team, down about almost 7K now to Team Epic, who is the purple team, who's been playing a pretty impressive game. You know, playing very, very solid, not making any mistakes so far. Had a little bit of overzealous action in top jungle, which Google was able to convert into 2 of their kills. But other than that, just playing absolutely solid. The one hope for Google moving farther into this actually is Mokobite. You know, if Mokobite can stay on course, get farmed up later in the game, you know, he is, you know, Tristana is a very, very good hybrid carry. He's actually better than Ezreal in my opinion. Ezreal, you know, has some good juke moves, is pretty good, has some good poke. I mean, he's a great AD for all intents and purposes, but because of the natural auto attack range of Tristana and her abilities, I feel like she's just a little bit ahead of Ezreal when we get to late game, depending on, you know, how the team's doing. I mean, if you know, the entire team's getting steamrolled and it's just Mokobite versus the world and they're not able to protect him, then obviously no dice for Google. But, you know, Ryze is another character that carries in the late game very, very well. Cassiopeia as well, but Ryze just builds so tanky, and he just constantly spams spells that, you know, his natural tankiness makes it just slightly better than Cassiopeia in my opinion. You know, Cassiopeia's going to put out a little bit higher damage per second, but she's not going to be as tanky as Ryze is going to be. And, ooh, a Baron call by Epic. I don't think Google knows this is going down. I'm pretty positive they have no clue this is going down. It is about 26 minutes. You should think about warding it, usually around 24 minutes, always if you haven't done it already. And that's going to be a really quick Baron for Epic. And now there's going to be a heavy, heavy turtle for Team Google as we're moving further into this game. Aurelia is going to be caught out here. Rustup's in a little bit of trouble. Howling Gale's effort may be coming in flashes, premature flashes. Really want that kill actually exhaust going down. And no one was quite caught up to Epic Chaos right there. Or Edric Chaos, sorry. Flipping the D's and the P's. So Rustubs and Craze taking up defense under this turret. Cassiopeia soloing Dragon because she can, because she's a boss. Team Gold kind of skyrocketing now, 8.5 gold. Let's see how much is in their bank, though. It's always important to know that, you know, with these gold leads... Oh, and getting caught out is A-Baller, but he does have that Guardian Angel. If he does get caught, Shyvana diving in underneath the turret, but now she's being caught out. Looks like Sundown Absolute wants to take down Lyrica Panda, but he's blacking in there. Monsu going down, protecting his team. Red Baron buff. Gonna give some nice regen there, and now Cassiopeia has joined the army, and that will be trouble for Google if they decide to extend this out. They really just need to pull back Turtle, you know, roll back to their base, you know, wait out this Baron buff, and you know, they have really no chance until they can do that. You see right now that, you know, Riven was focused on as much as possible, and she's perfectly fine, actually healed all the way up now. But you can see this gold, until this gold gets spent, it's actually not an effective gold lead. Like, you may go like, oh my gosh, Epic's ahead by, you know, whatever, 7k, you know, right now, but they're sitting with, you know, most of it in their bank. So two players have spent. Most of them probably will want to go back and spend their money. And then now that's going to be an effective gold advantage. You know, it's not just, you know, in the scoreboard theoretical money that they could spend. It actually is on their characters, and, you know, it's going to be seen in the team fights. It's felt in the team fights. And the thing about, you know, right now what we have here, this Rustub's getting a little bit too aggressive down here, teleporting. I think you defend that turret, but without team backup, kind of a waste of a teleport at this point. And a little bit of aggression onto Ezreal. If they can pick up Ezreal, this actually would be good. Mokavite rocket jumping in place, so he's not going to have that escape mechanism. That's really, really bad. Going to be caught out here by Cassiopeia, and, you know, that rocket jump was very ill-advised for Mokavite. Just jumping in place, not getting any damage. D.Va might actually still fall. Great Howling Gale, flashed in by one-man army, getting the last hit. Iron Solari going down actually to protect some of the teammates, and they are in full rout. Google running for their lives, Shyvana jumping in, and Rise solo pushing, trying to get a turret for his team, but I don't know if he's... I think they might just push bottom very, very hard. And anybody know if, you know, if Baron's not an objective on the board, sometimes even if Baron is, bottom is typically one of the better lanes to push. It's away from a lot of objectives. If they decide to go Baron, if Baron still is an objective, you can just push really, really hard. And they're going to actually take out this turret here. Kill this bottom inhibitor. Mokavite can do nothing about this. If he gets caught out just a little bit, he will fall very quickly to Cassiopeia, who is very, very farmed at this point. Riven actually crazy farm with that Bloodthirster. And Rustubs will be caught out on this top turret, and they will take on the top turret. This might be the game. Epic looks like they actually have Google completely held under their turret at this point. A second inhibitor is going to go down. They probably will work in the third. They can easily rotate around to it if they so choose. So Absolute trying to be aggressive here, but like it's really not going to happen. 8-Baller's crazy farm for this part of the game. Like 30 minutes, 270 CS, 5 1-on-1. That's almost, you know, that's a very, very solid pro level, like pro status type farm game going on there in play from this Riven. I mean, she died once in that early exchange, but 270 CS, I mean, 10 CS per minute is good. She's fallen about 30 short of that. It's pretty good performance from this Riven right now. Everybody else in the game far behind that. Shackled with that Arcane Shift, but, you know, Arcane Shift getting him Ezreal to safety. They're going to push out this middle turret, try to turtle up, and Baron, the Exalted Baron buff has fallen now, so that is one good thing going for Google. They don't have to face a Baron Azure buff, but Baron probably will be up, you know, in the next 3 minutes or so, in which case these lanes are going to have to be defended, 2 lanes, top and bottom. It's going to be very, very hard for Google to actually be able to contest a Baron if Baron does go down. They're already really far behind. Looks like most of the gold has been spent Ezreal just spending 3,000 right there. Bought a Triforce straight up. Pretty much it looks like. And good warding, and Shyvana with this Oracle doing some counter warding, doing her job, roaming around here, stealing buffs. Epic just playing a solid game, playing this out very, very well. And Mokabite sitting here with 226 CS, does not have that Phantom Dancer yet. Would really love that Phantom Dancer to be more effective in team fights. Ryze running out here. This is actually the wrong move for Google. Oh wow, baiting out an ult from Cassiopeia. That is very good. If they can get him to dive the turret, maybe, but it's really not the right move. But they actually will catch Riven out, but Riven again's not the correct target. She's so elusive. Wind Slash is back in. Heavy focus damage. Cassiopeia still doing damage. Ezra 1v1ing Mokabite right now. Mokabite trying to rocket jump away. Sundown Absolute, the last bastion of hope in mid. And that is an ace for Team Epic. They should be able to pick up this turret, pick up the next inhib, and win this game. 4 votes with 0 against for the surrender. Congratulations, Team Epic, with the win in the After Hours Gaming League. Thank you for watching. I am RaiseYourWeaponsPado.